You're listening to the ESO Network, your station for all things geek.
Hello, welcome to episode 267 of the Rusted Robot Podcast for Sunday, November the 10th, 2019.
My name is Optimus Prime.
Hello, I am C-3PO Human Cyborg Relations.
I am Locutus of Borg. Resistance is futile.
You're like a machine underneath, right? But sort of alive outside?
I'm a cybernetic organism, living tissue over a metal endoskeleton.
You're not quite, human, are you?
No, sir. I'm an android.
These aren't the droids we're looking for.
Counterfeit, facsimile, replica.
We need some sort of robot. Ah, crap! I'm some sort of robot.
What are your prime directives?
Serve the public trust, protect the innocent, uphold the law.
By your command.
Hey gang, it's your host Shawn, and with me today is your other host,
Josh.
And the cats.
Yeah, they're kind of active today.
How's it going? Again?
I just got back from a birthday party for children.
Yeah, you did.
At McDonald's.
Fun times.
We'll go with that. There was a lot of screaming going on.
I was there as well, actually, with my buddy Jay. We stopped in for coffee, and then you showed up with the kids, and it was like a good old-time reunion.
Yeah, then you left, and then the screaming really started because there was a second party of kids that arrived.
Oh, how fun.
Yeah. So
Good
there was
stuff.
about 50 of them in the play place.
So I left just in time.
Pretty much.
Nice. I don't always have good timing, but when I do, it's impeccable. Okay, well, what's going on around here lately? Not a whole heck of a lot. We had, or we're having, as we're recording, it's Saturday, and the craft show is going on that we mentioned last week.
We did? Yep.
I wonder how that's going.
I have no idea.
No, I didn't show up.
No, I didn't. I had the kids, so I didn't show up either.
Yeah, I'm sure it's great.
I'm certain it is.
Yeah, so that's good. Maybe we'll get a report from your wife, who is there, next time that we record with her.
Maybe.
You never know.
I don't know when the next chance we're going to have, though.
Not hard to say.
Because this isn't her day to work.
Right.
So.
Next week is her day to work.
Yeah.
And the week after is not. So we'll have forgotten about the thing by that point. What do you got there?
I forgot that I still had that on there. I thought I got all of them. The EKG
patch?
Yeah.
Sticker? Did you go for some tests?
I went for some tests, just make sure everything's okay, and apparently I forgot to get that one sticker off.
Oh, and it was picking at your side.
Yeah. Just started itching.
Huh. Well, that's good timing for the podcast.
I've taken a shower since then, too.
Well then.
And it didn't come off.
No, but it did now.
Yeah.
An EKG patch monitor thing.
Yeah.
Well, let's get into some Geekorama news here. I think it's time that we do that. What do you think? Think we should do that?
Yeah,
think we should regale the listeners with some cool news?
Sure.
All right, we can do that. Well, it's not news per se, but Terminator Dark Fate is bombing at the box office. It's not doing well.
Okay.
But I went and saw it this past week.
All right, so what do you think?
You know what? It's probably the third best Terminator film. After 1, 2, and then this one. It was decent.
So you liked it better than Rise of the Machine.
I did.
Which is by far the worst.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Salvation's really bad.
Well, it's not bad. It's just a different take, and there's no consequence to it.
Salvation? No, not Salvation.
You're thinking Genesis.
Genesis is the next one. That's terrible.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I actually like Salvation.
It's okay.
Because it isn't a part of the time paradox issues that you have to deal with the other ones.
Yeah, exactly.
This is a future thing, and that's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, it's like a one-off kind of thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And like we said with Genesis, some good scenes. But what do we always say about good scenes?
Good scenes do not make a good movie.
That's right. But Dark Fate, I don't know what I would give it for a review, because I need to see it again in a few weeks maybe, or 6 months from now, or whatever. But I'm thinking like at least a 7.5, maybe even more.
7.5?
Mm-hmm.
When did you go see it?
Tuesday, so that was 4 days ago.
Okay.
And I'd like to see it again. I enjoyed it.
Okay.
So it's a completely different take. I don't want to give any spoilers away, but we do get to see Edward Furlong, kind of, briefly. We get to see Arnold as the Terminator.
Yeah, we saw that in the previews.
But not the Terminator that we know and love from Terminator 2.
Yeah, because he's dead.
Because he got lowered into the steel, of course.
Yeah.
Because he couldn't self-terminate.
Yeah.
Yes.
I cannot self-terminate. You must lower me into the steel.
So not that one. Totally different one. But he's developed a conscience.
Well, he's a learning AI. Yeah.
Exactly. So it's a totally different take on the Terminator mystique, I guess you could call it.
Who was he sent back to kill originally?
John Connor.
He was sent back to kill John Connor?
Yeah.
Okay. And how did he develop a conscience?
Because he started living with a family.
Okay.
And so he married this woman who didn't know he was a Terminator, and she had a kid, and he kind of raised the son as his own, and he just developed like paternal feelings, and he got to understand all about humanity. And he does drapes and interior design. Carl.
Okay. All right.
Yep. And then, of course, Linda Hamilton's in it.
Yeah.
And she's awesome. Yeah, she's just incredible. And we have a new character that is enhanced and is there to save. I can't remember what the character's name. Danny.
Okay, and who's Danny?
Danny is.
Who's Danny in the future that she's going to be killed in the past?
She's like another John Connor kind of thing.
But
because it's an alternate timeline now into the future because of different things happening in the past. It all makes logical sense, but I can't really say anything without giving spoilers away.
Okay, so the Skynet we knew.
Yeah.
Who sent back the first Terminator.
Right. And all the other Terminators. Skynet no longer exists, but it's a new computer system in the future that sends back this new enhanced Terminator, the Rev 9, played by Gabriel Luna.
Okay, so hold on.
Yeah.
So the future AI came up with the same design parameters as another AI from another timeline who's set in the past relative to the future AI, developing on different lines of technology, came up with the same solution?
A similar solution.
Okay.
Yeah.
But the Skynet AI
yeah.
still existed because it sent things back in past.
Exactly.
So does the Skynet AI
no longer existed,
but it still exists,
right? Because alternate histories and futures and timelines. So it's complicated.
Okay.
Yeah, but the way they explain it,
what's this new one's name?
The new
computer system, yeah.
Legion.
And was this a browser app?
I don't.
Because we know Skynet is a phone app.
Was it a browser app? No, it was some kind of defense system too, like Skynet was.
Like Skynet was originally.
Yes, if I remember.
Not later Skynet, which turned out to be an app.
Not the Genesis Skynet. No, the original Skynet. But the action sequences were awesome. There was enough character development for all the people that you could care enough about them and be invested in their journeys and whatnot. It was just a lot of fun. I really liked it. I would recommend seeing it in the theater.
Okay. So this postulates an issue.
Okay, go on.
Humanity will always be destroyed by robots.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Because Skynet did it. We stopped Skynet, and now Legion's popped. Well, no, we stopped Skynet 3 different times.
At least, yeah.
And he still keeps popping up.
Yes.
And now Legion.
Yes. And Sarah Connor has been busy fighting Terminators as they pop up through time for the last 30 years since Terminator 2.
Okay.
Because I guess things keep getting sent back in time by the sounds of it at random intervals.
And are they always like the Arnie T-800?
That they don't say.
All right.
But she's well armed and well equipped and can take care of things. And there's a lot of touch and go moments and a lot of action sequences.
John. What about John?
What about John?
That's what I'm asking. What about John? What's happening with John?
Can't tell you about John. That's a big spoiler, so I better not tell you anything.
Okay.
Unless people don't care, and then I could just give spoilers away.
Well, we're doing a spoiler warning by this giant pause here.
Okay, so we're doing spoilers?
We're going to do spoilers.
Okay.
Spoilers are coming here.
Spoilers are imminent.
Right.
Spoilers are now approaching.
What's that word you use?
Spoilers.
Spoilers. Spoilers. Spoilers. Now there's a spoiler for you. You and your secrets.
Spoilers for Terminator Dark Fate will occur from time index 931 until the 16-minute mark.
And they're here.
John gets killed.
John gets killed?
Yes. John is killed by the Arnold Terminator. We see a flashback from years ago where Sarah and John thought they were safe, and they're off at some beach resort having fun. The Terminator comes up, shoots him, and that's the Terminator that later becomes Carl.
I'm never gonna fucking call you Carl.
And so for the last 20, 30 years, Linda Hamilton or Sarah Connor has been busy killing Terminators in John's name.
My name is Sarah Connor. I hunt Terminators.
Wait, so hold on. They're still sending Terminators back to stop who?
I don't know. They don't say. She just says that whenever Terminators pop out of existence, she goes and tracks them down and kills them because Carl has this ability to detect the temporal disturbances of when a Terminator is about to pop through time. So he's been texting her throughout the years the location of where this is going to happen. And so she goes there. She doesn't know it's him, actually, all this time. And she finds out, and it's a big ruckus. So he's been trying to make amends for killing John, because now that he's been raising his own son, he knows what she went through and what it was like. So she's been...
But Skynet won.
Yes, but now...
John's dead.
John's dead.
Where's Skynet?
Skynet is gone somehow, because I guess they stopped it.
But they didn't stop it because the Terminator came back and killed John.
Yeah, exactly. But they don't explain that very well.
So this sounds like it's making a terrible, terrible, terrible mess of the timelines.
The timelines are pretty ragged. But anyway, Carl Terminator has been texting Sarah Connor with the coordinates so she can go to track these Terminators down and kill them. Skynet's somehow disappeared and gone, and Grace is an enhanced human that gets sent back to save Danny.
Okay, see, I got no problems with the new Legion aspect timeline, but I got a problem with the Skynet achieves its goals and then ceases to exist timeline.
They didn't explain it very well, so it's hard to really explain what happened. Maybe I need to see it again. Maybe I missed that part. I don't know.
Because, okay.
But things happen so fast that you need to watch it a few times to really get what's going on with their explanations, because they're running and explaining at the same time usually.
Yeah, that's fine. That's the standard action movie with a weird time paradox thing going on. That's fine.
Right. So there might be some nuances that I missed.
Okay, so the only thing the point literally that I'm getting stuck on is Skynet wins and then ceases to exist.
Well, I think what happened
and why?
Remember how they killed Skynet? They wiped it out? But this Terminator was sent back before it got wiped out.
Yeah, so he didn't get wiped out. Because the whole point of destroying T2's Arnie is because there's a copy of Skynet dynamic chips
in him,
and they will make Skynet with that knowledge.
Right, but what must have happened is that when that Terminator was sent back, and the other Terminator was sent back, the Carl Terminator was sent back as well to a different time. So, because when Skynet was getting destroyed by the Resistance, they just sent a bunch of Terminators back instead of just the one that we thought.
Yeah, no. That's literally what I thought happened. That's why Terminator 2, all that happened simultaneously.
Right, exactly.
They're all sent out
as a go. And so was this one, I guess. Just slightly in the future.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Okay. And so they eventually do kill the Skynet. It's destroyed, like it was in Terminator 2.
Except the whole point is they don't, because he successfully kills John Connor, right?
Right, but there was no need for the Resistance then.
Why wouldn't there be?
Because they killed the Terminator, so there couldn't have been a Skynet.
But there was a Skynet because a Terminator existed in the past, allowing for the creation of Skynet. Because the whole point of killing him in T2 was you can't let him go forward.
It's very twisty, turny, timey-wimey.
It's literally like, we don't want to deal with Skynet anymore. We want our own kind of super AI. I think Skynet should still be there. And then Skynet should be sending back robots to fight Legion's robots.
Oh, that'd be interesting, wouldn't it?
Because Skynet wants the timeline for Skynet to be around.
Right, not Legion. Maybe that'll be in a sequel if they ever do it, but I don't know because it's bombing.
Unfortunately, it is not the last movie in a series that screws it up.
Right.
It tends to be the movie before that. So what we're seeing is not whether or not this movie is good.
It was a lot of fun, I would say.
What we're seeing is people going, oh, Genesis was bad. I don't want to go see this.
Right.
And people got turned off to the movie because of Genesis.
That could very well be.
And before that, we did not, we limped along on the last one was bad, but maybe. The last one was okay, but maybe this one, no, this one's bad.
People are just tired of the Terminator franchise. And I read
it's they're not tired of the Terminator franchise. They're tired of getting bad Terminator movies.
Right.
Because if the last movie was a Terminator 2, this movie would be making bank.
It'd be huge.
And I haven't seen it yet, so I can't say anything other than the stuff that you told me and going, no, that doesn't make sense timeline wise.
Right.
But if it's a good story, a lot of things can be forgiven.
It was good. I liked it.
And maybe this will push them for the next one.
Mm-hmm.
There are movies that reach their peak right away and they fall.
Yeah.
And then there are movies that go in and they climb from there.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see about Terminator, see if it climbs.
Yeah, true.
But from what I've been hearing, not likely.
Hard to say. But overall, I enjoyed it. I waited a long time for it. I wasn't disappointed, and I'm glad I saw it. That's where we'll leave that discussion. Talked a little bit way more than I expected about it, but I did do the spoilers, and there's a warning, so it's all good. It's fine.
Make sure you have the...
I will. I have
alarms.
I have alarms for it. So,
excellent.
Yeah, so that's all good. So what else has been going on? Have you watched anything cool on TV or Netflix or anime or anything?
So I'm watching the things that are coming out right now.
The anime stuff?
Yeah. So far, I've only dropped 2 series.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, I'm staying strong.
Okay.
I dropped the one about the prodigies.
Oh, yes, okay.
Okay, that one, yeah.
Not so good.
And I dropped the one where the hero is overly cautious.
Yeah, okay.
It didn't hold my interest.
Oh, that's too bad.
But the other shows I'm still watching. I'm watching the Wrestler one, and My Hero Academia Season 4 is out, and that's, a crippling addiction for me. Have you watched it yet?
I have not.
You should watch My Hero Academia.
I should, eh?
It's fully dubbed, and Season 4 is coming out right now. And it's good. It's a hard recommend from me. And I'm introducing Katie to an anime that came out last season called Katana no Astra. It's about a guy and his group of people going with him to space camp, literally going to the planet Makpa. And then they get sucked through a wormhole and dropped into space, and go ahead, good luck, survive.
Sounds interesting.
It is.
Maybe I'll have to check that out one day. I probably won't get around to it.
I recommend. It's a good show.
I was looking through my Netflix queue, and there are so many things that I have not watched, and I just keep adding things to the list.
So a lot of the Netflix recommendations, it's like, hey, you once watched a thing vaguely similar to this.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't care about that. I don't care about that.
There's lots I don't care about.
And they'll throw anything remotely sci-fi related in there. I'm like, look, just because it's sci-fi related doesn't mean I'm interested in it.
Exactly. Hey, so to change the subject a little bit, what do you think about voice actors?
There are many very good voice actors. There are very, very many bad voice actors.
Okay.
And there are some that you just recognize because they've been around in the industry for years.
Really? Who comes to mind?
Oh, there are quite a few that I've listened to over the years. There's this guy that does the voice for Ida right now in My Hero Academia.
Okay.
And he's in 7 different shows I know of.
Oh.
There's quite a few. Do you have somebody in particular you want to speak about?
I do, actually, as a matter of fact, and he is getting a Lifetime Achievement Award on November 17th for voice acting, and of course it's Peter Cullen, the incredible voice of Optimus Prime.
Yeah?
Yeah, so he is getting a Lifetime Achievement Award for voice acting.
Well, how many things has he been in?
I don't know. You can look that up while I look at the Society of Voice Art tweet, which says, Society of Voice Arts and Sciences announces the Voice Arts Award Lifetime Achievement recipient, Peter Cullen, best known as the voice of Optimus Prime from Transformers. Meet and celebrate the legend at the Voice Arts Gala Sunday, November 17th. It says here, knowing that Cullen still voices Optimus today is astounding since it seems like his voice hasn't skipped a beat. Maybe that's just how his voice sounds. Cullen even voiced Optimus in the live-action movies and was the only good thing about them for the longest time. Thankfully, he was also Optimus in the Bumblebee movie, which was actually pretty good, so hopefully they make more movies that are actually of quality. He'll be receiving the award November 17th, so expect a lot of fans and voice actors from the classic Transformers cartoon to make an appearance. No new Transformers movies or cartoons have been announced, though IDW comics are still pretty active.
Alright.
That's pretty cool.
So his first appearance was on The Buddies. a TV show in 1967.
Wow.
He was on the Smothers Brothers, Prologue, a bunch of other stuff in the 70s. King Kong, 1976. He was the voice of King Kong, uncredited.
Okay.
1979, his first voice acting credit. Scooby-Doo and Scrappy-Doo.
Ah, okay.
Plastic Man Adventures. I didn't know Plastic Man had his own TV show. Trollkins. Goldie Gold and Action Jack. Spider-Man. He's got a long go. Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. Dukes. The cartoon Dukes of Hazzard.
There was a cartoon Dukes of Hazzard?
Yeah, the Dukes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. And then G.I. Joe.
He's a real American hero.
Then we finally hit My Little Pony, Nausicaa Valley of the Wind, so he did some anime work.
Oh, nice.
He's in Heathcliff, Gremlins. He was the voice of the Gremlins. Huh. Scooby-Doo Mystery Adventures. Wow, we're only in the 80s.
So he's done
RoboForce, Revenge of Nazgar. I was getting close to Transformers. Voltron, Defender of the Universe.
Nice.
He was the narrator, Corrin, Hutch, King Alfor, Commander James Hawken, Robot Strider, the Tiger Fighter. That's one name. Man. Just Man.
Oh, he's a man. Okay.
The Jetsons, Scooby-Doo, Robotics. I don't know that series. Superpower Team Galactic Guardians, Rainbow Bright, College Challenge of the GoBots. So he was at GoBots too.
That's awesome.
And we're Dungeons and Dragons, Robotics. Where's Voltron again?
Was he in Thundercats?
I haven't seen Thundercats. No. Rainbow Bright, Moon Dreamers, Galtar and the Golden Lance, GoBots Battle for the Rock Lords, Transformers. There we go. And then Transformers and a bunch of other Transformers. Muppet Babies. He was in Muppet Babies. And then a giant just stretch of just Transformers.
Right, lots and lots.
Ooh, he's in Brave Star. Huh.
Brave Star. Nobody knows that show.
I know Brave Star.
Good.
Saber Rider. Wow, he's been in a lot of things here.
Lots of cartoons.
Dino Riders. I love Dino Riders.
Right on. So
that we're still in the 80s.
Yeah. So that explains why he's getting a Lifetime Achievement Award, because he was in all the cartoons. Like
183 acting credits.
Right.
His last non-Transformers role, because most of the stuff he's been running is Transformers, is Dr. McStuffins. He was Eeyore.
Nice.
And other than that, for the last 10 years, looks like nothing but Transformers. Yeah, nothing else but Transformers for the last 10 years. 9 years, no, Super Duper Super Sleuths he was also in.
Of course. I should have remembered that one.
Yes, of course.
So, speaking of voice actors, did you know our good buddy from our sister podcast, A Play on Nerds, Jarman, is a voice actor?
Oh, is he? What's he been in?
I don't think he's been in any TV shows, but I know he's done video games and a lot of audiobooks.
Well, that's being in things.
Yes. I'm
video games is a pretty big market.
It is. I'm just not sure about television.
That's fine.
He could send us a voice clip and give us all the details one day. But last week on his podcast, he was talking about Boxing Day and how he wasn't sure if Canadians celebrated it, if it was just a British thing or whatnot. And he shouted me out and mentioned the podcast, this one, and Soulforge podcast. And so I sent them a voice clip for their episode, and it just came out the other day. It's episode 133. I haven't listened to it just yet because it just came out. But if our listeners have not listened to A Play on Nerds, they definitely should, and they can hear me on that episode. Like a 3-minute clip that I added.
Cool.
Yeah.
So if we're talking about other podcasts, maybe we should talk about this podcast.
This one, The Rusted Robot?
No.
Oh.
That was a cue to pause this, jump in with a transition to the advertisement for our sisters on the ESO network. But instead of doing that, we're doing this kind of spiel right before doing it.
Or maybe I'll just edit this all out and just add that thing.
Well, you're cutting quality content now.
Okay, well then I'll leave this part in, Josh.
Well, that's unprofessional, Shawn.
So what should I do? I have no idea.
Well, play the clip.
Hey all, this is Drew Leiter from the Earth Station DCU podcast, and I'm here to tell you that Cletus and I are back. Yes, we got one of the shuttlecrafts working that got marooned on a planet called Mogo. No, not the Green Lantern planet, but that's a story for another time. We're here to tell you we're back. We're back to talk about DC news, we're here to talk about comics, and of course we're here to talk about DC television shows. We're very excited about talking Crisis on Infinite Earths crossover coming up. So make sure you tune in to listen to us. We're right here on the ESO Network.
Okay, I did. How was that? Was it awesome?
That was better.
Yeah? Oh. What's going on? Your bottles are knocking together.
Yeah, touch the table. That's why.
Oh, touchy table.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that podcast that I just played the promo for.
Yeah. See?
Pretty spectacular.
No, that was a nice smooth transition with a little bit of sandpaper in the middle, but that's fine.
It happens.
All right.
Sometimes I edit that stuff out, and sometimes I like to let the listeners have a peek behind the curtain, Josh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. All right, so on to trailers?
I think that is a reasonable idea, but I do have a piece of news that I keep forgetting to mention on the last several episodes. Do you remember that show that you told me to watch, and you said it was horrible, but I had to give it a go, and I did, and I watched all 10 episodes in 2 days? Remember that it was called on Netflix with Katie Sackhoff?
I don't remember the title now.
Another Life.
Okay.
It was picked up for season 2.
Jesus, why? Shawn, it was bad.
It was
just no, it wasn't.
I loved it.
It was just bad, Shawn.
Yeah, I know.
How?
But it got a season 2 order. I don't know when that's coming out, but
the show makes no sense at all.
Maybe they'll retcon everything, and it'll be fine.
You can't.
Calm yourself. Hey, I finished watching Daybreak.
Okay.
Did I tell you about that?
Yeah, you told me about Daybreak. You told me about last week.
Have you started?
No, I haven't.
Okay. It was good. It was wacky, and a lot of weird different things happen. It's not like a normal TV show, because a lot of fourth wall breaking and different things like that. But it was wacky and fun.
Okay.
And I'd recommend it.
All right.
You should watch that.
All right, I'll give it a try.
Add it to your list.
When I get a chance to add things to my list.
You will do that.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I've been watching a lot of news lately.
Like news?
Like news, like informative things of daily goings on.
Really?
Yeah.
What have you learned?
We're pretty much screwed.
Oh, yeah, guaranteed. The planet's on fire. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We really need an alien invasion to galvanize us.
I think we do. I'm ready.
Or conquer us, one or the other.
Probably conquer us, and maybe
Yep.
make the planet properly run.
Sure.
Or something.
I'll be just some giant space alien's lapdog. I don't mind.
Yeah.
Get treats.
Ooh, treats.
Yeah.
Okay. As long as we get to keep watching TV, it's all good, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So speaking of watching things, what trailer should we play first?
Let's play The Invisible Man.
Okay.
As the attorney representing Adrian's trust, I'm required to read a prepared statement. Cecilia, although our relationship was far from perfect, I thought that you would talk to me rather than run away.
Are you okay? What happened to him?
He cut his wrist. Per his final wishes, you're getting $5 million. Contingent, of course, on the fine print. He can't be ruled to be mentally incompetent.
It just doesn't make any sense.
What?
Adrian wouldn't kill himself.
Listen, you're getting your freedom back, okay? Don't let him haunt you.
Hello? I'm scared.
You don't have to be scared of him anymore.
He was a sociopath, completely in control of everything. He said that wherever I went, he would find me, walk right up to me, and I wouldn't be able to see him.
Are you okay?
Someone's sitting in that chair. I found something that can prove what I'm experiencing. You need help. Adrian is dead. I went to his house today. He's not dead.
I have a pile of ashes in a box that would disagree with you.
He has figured out a way to be invisible.
Only thing more brilliant than inventing something that makes you invisible is coming up with the perfect way to torture you, even in death. Adrian's true genius was how he got in people's heads.
Don't come any closer. Hey!
I'm not crazy. Please listen to me.
You're saying the person trying to kill you is in the room right now, but we can't see him?
He's listening. Where are you? Where are you? Show yourself! Come on! There you are.
So, is it sci-fi? Is it just weird? Is it...
The man is invisible, Shawn.
Yeah. So I guess...
He's not in a hallucination. We can see that in the trailer, where he grabs the guy's gun and forces it into his own knee and shoots him.
Okay, so it's a sci-fi thriller.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's pure sci-fi.
Or is it pure thriller with a sci-fi element to it? How would you classify it?
It's a sci-fi show. The guy's invisible.
All right. Is that just the given, the MacGuffin? Like, this is what the thing is, and then now it's going to be a straight thriller?
Well, like sci-fi is for many shows, it's the core, and then you can add things on the end of it. It's a sci-fi thriller. It is definitely not a thriller sci-fi.
No, definitely not.
Because then the sci-fi element becomes the story element, where the core of it is the thriller.
Right.
This is the other way around. This is definitely a sci-fi core wrapped around with a thriller.
Okay. Does it look interesting?
I know many people will enjoy this. Mm-hmm. They'll watch it and go, "Ooh, that's a good, creepy film." I don't like that kind of film.
Because it's like, we know what's happening, we know the guy's alive, we know the girl is not insane, but nobody else knows she's insane. So we have to be in the uncomfortable position where we know, and we can't tell the authorities because we're just the audience.
Less than that, quite often, those type of, "Oh, I'm your ex and I'm going to stalk you," or "I'm a whatever," they don't ring true to me in the right ways.
How so?
Okay, I know there are crazy stalkers out there. I'm not saying there aren't.
There are psychopaths, sociopaths, whatever.
The first time you suspect that the person is, I don't know, in your house, leave.
Oh,
you got $5 million. Just leave. Go take a vacation. Get on a plane, fly 5,000 miles, jump on another plane, and fly 2,000 miles.
But does she have the $5 million yet, or does she have to go?
She doesn't need to.
She said something about the psychological evaluation.
Yeah, she's gotta be proven mentally competent for X amount of time. But guess what? You got $5 million coming to you. Mm-hmm. Grab your credit card, jump in the car, and drive 2,000 miles in a random direction if you think there's a crazy invisible man in your house.
What if he's in your car?
Yeah, that's easy enough to check, Shawn.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Just start stabbing in the back of your car? In the air? Or...
No. You get out of your car, you lock the doors, and then you pump fumes back into the car.
No, good call.
And if he opens the door to get out,
right.
Well, now you know he's not in the car anymore.
Right, true enough.
Then you jump back in the car, close the door, open the windows, and drive off like hell.
Because he's invisible, not invincible.
Exactly.
And people tend to confuse the two.
Yeah. Because you can't see him. He's got to be naked.
Yeah.
He's got to be naked the entire time.
So it's cold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go to Alaska.
There you go.
Go on a snowmobiling trip.
Ooh, even better. So is this something we would see at the theater? I'm thinking no.
No, I would not go see this at the theater. It looks like it's going to be a good movie, but I would not go see this at the theater.
Okay, I agree. So, no theater watch for that one.
No.
Okay.
Like, if thriller is your genre, this might be a great movie for you.
It never has been.
I'm not talking about you, Shawn.
I'm just letting you know.
I'm talking to the audience.
Oh, the audience that are listening to us right now.
Yes. I'm saying if thriller is your genre, this might be a great movie for you. Mm-hmm. Looks good.
Yeah, it does.
It's creepy as heck in the visuals.
Oh, yes.
But to me, it's not the kind of film that I would go watch.
Okay, that's fair. I agree.
Okay. On to the next trailer.
And thriller is not my genre. I'm just
Okay.
mentioning that. Okay, so the next trailer we watched was for The Dragon Prince Season 3.
We're here. Zadia. The Dragon Prince lives. And he's very cute. But my new human friend...
Get ready to meet Elf Callum. All me best mates are trees.
Zadia is waging war on all of humanity.
There must be a proportionate response. We must be ready to sacrifice for the future of humanity. Zadia would destroy us if we let them. But we will fight back.
Protect the Dragon Prince.
At any cost. Sim! Here we go! Wow! I've never done that before in my life. The coming battle won't be easy.
We will be outnumbered.
There is hope.
even when the odds seem impossible.
We're all that's left of our family. I won't let anything break us apart.
We will need all the help we can get.
Big help.
My little brother, all grown up and riding dragons.
We will face elves and dragons, and they will rain fire upon us.
The only way to stop this is to look evil in the face and say, no more.
Kids are jazzed. I'm jazzed.
Yeah, I really like The Dragon Prince.
I do. I know it's younger.
It is.
It's for kids.
But I enjoyed that.
I enjoy watching it with my kids.
Yeah, I watched it by myself. I didn't care. I loved it. Season 3, November 22nd.
Well, we watched it every episode as a family.
Of course.
It took us a while to finish it because the kids are not binge watchers.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
They can't sit down and watch it 10 episodes in a row.
Like weekend.
Yeah.
Sure.
Also, bedtime makes it harder.
Yes, of course. So you get to stretch it out a little bit and enjoy it that much more.
Yeah.
Okay. So for people who don't know, it's about, what would you say? It's medieval times, there's magic.
It's a high fantasy show.
High fantasy show. That's how you describe it. Okay.
Yeah, it's a high fantasy.
All right, that's fair. And there's a dragon, and there's warring factions, and good guys and bad guys.
Yeah, it's your standard high fantasy adventure story.
But it's well written and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. And it's got decent character drama. It's not just we good bad guys, they bad guys, we fight, we win. Mm-hmm. No, it's got good
more to it.
It's got story to it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad that they're making shows a lot better than they did before.
Yes.
Now kids are actually watching shows that have good character development from a young age.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to grow up expecting, good story.
It's important. And apparently, season 3 of She-Ra is coming out this week coming. Did the kids watch that?
They did. I didn't.
Oh, I watched the first 2 seasons. It was fine. It wasn't great. Dragon Prince is way better.
I don't like how they disconnected it.
From the original?
Yeah. It is not the original.
No, it's not.
It is not what She-Ra was to me.
No.
So, yeah.
But what She-Ra was to you will always be to you because it still exists.
Yeah.
Just because they make something new doesn't mean you can't enjoy the old stuff still.
No, I'm not saying I can't enjoy the old stuff.
Well, that's good.
Like, it is clearly different. And now that they're planning to do a He-Man series...
I heard that, too.
How are you going to fix that problem?
That I don't know. Maybe they'll just have it totally separate.
Well, that's just weird.
It is.
The whole point is connecting those two stories. Part of the original idea was like, okay, we're going to give the She-Ra action figures to
the girls?
Well, to the doll developers at Mattel, right?
Yeah.
Make your characters, and they'll make them on the same scale as our He-Man figures, so the boys and the girls can play together.
Yes.
And encourage that playing together.
Mm-hmm.
Not, we're going to keep everything separate.
Right. Which is what they're doing now.
Yeah, because I had no problem. I had a She-Ra action figure.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, she ended up marrying Skeletor a lot, but,
Well, sure.
Of her own free will, no magic involved.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Imagine that.
And then she'd steal the swords of power, and they'd have both. And yeah,
nice.
You
had a twisted fantasy life.
No, I had a fantasy life. That's what children do.
Yeah.
You should hear the horror stories of what Katie did to her poor people with her ponies made Fisher-Price people soup for I don't remember whom. Oh yeah, she's making like people soup all the time.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds delicious.
Yeah. I had a relatively normal one.
All right, fair enough.
Villain marries the heroine and kills the hero.
Right.
Yeah.
That happens in real life all the time.
Yeah, pretty much.
Mm-hmm. Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so moving right along, we have one more trailer.
Sure.
It's called 3022.
Home isn't returning our calls.
How long?
10 hours.
Jean, could you see if wiring may have shorted on your end? Something is happening to Earth. Do you copy?
Grace! Do you know what happened?
I was hoping that you would.
What do you think happens to our minds when you realize there isn't going to be a happy ending?
We're all that's left.
Are you afraid to die, Captain? We're just gonna float around until we suffocate. Are you seeing things yet? It's so empty.
And it's more of a teaser trailer. It's only like just a minute and a half long.
Okay, I'm assuming the 3022 is supposed to be the year this is taking place.
I'm thinking so.
Okay. One of three things is wrong with this.
Okay.
Tech-wise, they are not 1,000 years advanced from us.
I did notice that.
Okay. Because, like, 1,000 years ago, we didn't have printing presses. Most people couldn't read. We believed that, you could still turn metal and lead into gold.
Yeah.
All that crazy stuff from 1,000 years ago. There's no way they can envision a tablet that we can record our voices on and transmit it to thousands of people around the world within minutes.
True.
They are not 1,000 years developed in technology.
No, it looks like it's like 50 years from now, maybe?
Not even. It looks like they got equipment up there,
Yeah.
but all of it looks like stuff we'd have now.
Yeah, you think it's that?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Nothing I saw in that preview doesn't look like stuff we could develop now.
Right, okay.
They're in space. It's supposed to be 1,000 years from now.
Yeah.
Where's the big space industry?
It looks like they were just a lone ship out in space by themselves.
Whereas in 1,000 years, if we don't manage to screw ourselves, there'll be hundreds, if not thousands of people living in space permanently.
Oh yeah, totally.
If not more.
On moons, on asteroids, on other planets.
Just on ships.
Space stations, ships. Yeah, exactly.
In 1,000 years, we know at this point that keeping everybody on our one little planet is stupid.
Yes. Don't keep all your eggs in one basket.
Yeah. Particularly because there's all that free real estate.
Yeah, exactly.
Something happens to the Earth where it blows up. Okay, cool. Krypton. Whatever.
Right.
We Kryptoned it. So all these people in the limited space program, because apparently it's not just a generic, everybody lives out in space and like Earth blew up and that's sad and a lot of people died, but we still got a couple million people in space and we can repopulate all of our galaxy.
Yeah, it looks like there's, 5 people left?
There's, I don't know, let's say a crew of 30 on that ship.
A handful of people.
Yeah.
And the planet has destroyed itself. They don't know why, they don't know what, but there's nothing around and they can't go anywhere.
Except they got a spaceship.
That's it. And they're running out of time.
Except those ships should have reserves and hydroponics, because like we can do that now. And if the space station right now, if they needed to, they could switch up hydroponics and extend their air supply by a massive thing. It's just they don't want to do that because like it makes more sense to use that stuff for scientific research.
Right.
But then you just fly off to the asteroid belt and start collecting gear. You can bootstrap yourselves up if you have a decently advanced spaceship, which in 1,000 years I would assume they have a decently advanced spaceship. Also, there's all that debris from a planet that just blew up. You go over there and grab a big-ass chunk of ice from the South Pole, you got water and air for years, so long as you got sunlight, and you start gathering up all the bits of humanity that are floating out there. Like, you got supplies.
Yeah, you do. So, the trailer is limited. It doesn't tell us a lot. It doesn't give us too much background. It comes out, I think, next March, maybe. Not 100% sure. But, I don't know. I like going to space movies. This one I'm not sure about. Need to see more.
I have to, either more trailers, or I got to get somebody who I trust to go in there and tell me, don't worry, Josh, it actually makes rational sense.
Yes, that's important.
Because, like, the whole thing is, oh, there's no hope. Except if you have a limited space program, you don't put people into space who give up that easy.
Right, exactly.
You put people, if you're putting only a few dozen people in space, you tailor tests to make sure that they're not going to crack under pressure.
Right.
You get the kind of person up there who's not going to crack under pressure. That's what they do with NASA now.
Well, of course.
Because you don't want somebody going nuts when they're isolated on the far side of the moon.
Can't have a loose cannon.
Exactly.
No.
So, like, they wouldn't have sent people who'd crack that easy.
Well, maybe.
But if they sent people that would crack that easy, that means there's so many people up there already that it doesn't matter. So which one is it, guys?
Or did they crack because they just saw their home planet destroyed and everything they know and love is gone? Now they're freaking out.
Except the people who would freak out, you don't put on the ship.
Maybe you can't help but freak out if your planet gets destroyed? Maybe it's just something that would happen?
There are people, I guarantee it, there's a lot of people who'd go, okay, what do we do next? You don't dwell on it, because you're not free to dwell on it, because now you are in survival mode.
No time for grief.
No time for grief. Gotta live. Gotta keep humanity going. Even more so, people will feel the pressure, and some people would crack, but the people who you send up to space in a specialty program, who are going up there because, things might go wrong.
They're naturally more resilient?
Well, they're chosen to be the kind of people that don't crack like that.
Right.
That go, okay, next step. What do we do?
Purely scientific driven?
No, not necessarily scientific. I'm not saying the robots.
Okay.
The astronauts feel. In fact, they are some of the most feeling people out there.
Oh.
But they know when to feel.
Yeah.
And when to put that crap aside and get on with it so we don't die.
Right, because you're all that's left. You need to get your stuff together.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Pull up those bootstraps. Let's go.
That's right. Okay, so what do we think?
Again, I'm going to wait for somebody to tell me that's good.
Yeah.
But so far, it looks terrible.
Yes.
It sends a bad message about humanity in space. Also, why did the Earth blow up?
Yeah, good question.
Because that's not there was a massive eruption. That was the planet blew up.
It exploded.
Something exploded the planet.
Yeah.
And nobody noticed something exploding the planet?
Right. And how far along are they in this mission? Did they just get to space? Are they returning home? What's going on? Give us some details.
No, on that, it's fine. We don't need to know. You can leave that up. But what exploded the planet? That takes a lot of energy to explode a planet. And nobody noticed a thing like that happening?
No, because it was a surprise.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. I don't know.
Yeah.
Guess we'll have to wait till it comes out.
Sure.
Or not worry about it and never think about it again. Either way.
It's like that movie Spaceship Earth.
The Wandering Earth is a 2019 Chinese science fiction film directed by Frank Guo, loosely based on the 2000 novella of the same name by multi-award-winning author Liu Cixin. Set in the far future, The Wandering Earth follows a group of astronauts and rescue workers guiding the Earth away from an expanding sun, while attempting to prevent a collision with Jupiter.
Don't think I saw it.
That's the Chinese one where the Earth is...
Oh,
they put
yeah.
the rockets on the
Yes,
Earth?
I did watch all of that.
It's like that.
What was that called? I don't know. I reviewed it on an episode a few months back.
I think it's Starship Earth or Spaceship Earth.
Something like that, though. But yeah.
So...
Yeah, let's put 10,000 rockets on the Earth and go for a 2,500-year journey to the next star. That's what that was.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was.
Let's ignore all the science.
Totally. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so that's trailer reviews for this week. I do have a little bit of casting news.
Okay.
You know how Edward from Twilight is going to be the new Batman?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we got some more updates on the cast.
Okay.
Okay, so we have Gollum as Alfred.
Okay.
You know that guy there? What's his name? Why can't I think of his name? That guy. The guy who does all the motion capture.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what's his name? I don't know. I can't remember. It's just, I'm having a mind blank.
When your customers demand quality, start with the Rusted Robot. Fire resistant and water repellent, the Rusted Robot is easy to work with, cuts easily with a serrated knife, and fits snugly without sagging. For your next project, recommend the Rusted Robot for exterior walls, attics, and crawl spaces, and Rivets Ready Room for soundproofing interior walls and ceilings between floors. The Rusted Robot Podcast.
Andy Serkis.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's going to be Alfred.
Yep. Okay.
It's kind of neat.
Yep.
We...
A younger Alfred than we're used to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that'll be a different take.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Then we've got Matthew McConaughey as Harvey Dent, or Two-Face.
All right.
Yes, no, maybe?
All right.
All right.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah? Okay.
I don't know.
No?
You know what? I can't see it. Maybe.
He's
I'll wait.
Mm-hmm.
But just on initial reactions, I'm like, no.
Well, he's got that Aaron Eckhart kind of look.
No. Aaron Eckhart, I could take him seriously.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot take McConaughey seriously. And anything he does, I cannot. I just...
Right. I agree. Okay. And then we've got this guy here. What the heck is his name? He played Bullseye. Colin Farrell. There you go. I wanted to say Phil Collins, but I knew that wasn't right. So he is going to be the Penguin.
Okay, so they're going for the mobster idea than the bird.
Yeah,
not Batman Returns.
Danny DeVito, yeah.
Yeah,
not so much.
Where he's a mutant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're going more of a mobster line. Okay.
Yeah. So what do you think about these casting choices?
2 out of 3 ain't half bad.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm really liking Andy Serkis as Alfred.
Yeah. All right, younger, buffer, stronger.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. And Colin Farrell. Okay, he's the gangstery Penguin. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
No, not the Harvey Dent.
Not so much, eh?
No,
I don't see that either. But we can't also see Robert Pattinson as Batman, Bruce Wayne either.
Sure
Can you?
Oh yeah, he's a good actor. Yeah, he was in Twilight, but so what?
Well, I'm not saying because he was in that he can't be in this.
A lot of people are.
Yeah, I know. It's going around. But I think he needs to... Well, apparently he's in a big workout routine right now to buff up for it.
Yeah, but you don't want him to be too jacked.
No, but he needs to be jacked enough.
Yeah, but you don't want him too jacked. Because, like, you can get Ben Affleck, then add muscle pads on top of that.
Right.
Jacked.
Yeah.
That was too jacked.
That was too much.
Like, he should not be that buff.
No, definitely not.
Batman's a ninja. Think gymnast, not bodybuilder.
That is true. Yeah, Ben Affleck is not a ninja.
No,
definitely.
In those movies, he looked like a full quarterback in pads.
Yes, he did.
So
this might be good.
Yeah.
And it's being directed by Matt Reeves, who is awesome. So he did the Planet of the Apes movies, and he did Let Me In, and a bunch of other things that we liked. So, So bodes well. So I think what we'll do is we will end with a upcoming collectible, which is it looks pretty cool, awfully expensive, but I'll just read it here. It's a 1/3 scale Captain Spock statue from Darkside Collectibles. Darkside Collectibles Studios has revealed an impressive new Star Trek release, a 3rd scale Spock statue, specifically Captain Spock as seen in The Wrath of Khan. That scale makes for a whopping 65 centimeter tall statue, which stands on a 25 centimeter diameter Starfleet logo base. 29 centimeters is like a foot, right? So it's just over 2 feet tall for our American listeners. Let's see, we got Polystone Captain Spock weighs in at 15 kilograms, which is like 35 pounds, right?
15 would be 33.
33, okay. To stir your Federation patriotism for this hero of Starfleet, the statue also comes with a separate Federation flag, which itself stands 81 centimeters tall.
Pretty big.
That you can see in the picture here that it's a giant. They're taking orders for this now with an expected delivery in October 2020. They have an exclusive variant with a Live Long and Prosper hand. So if you order the exclusive variant, you get 2 arms basically instead of 1. And the regular one just comes with the regular hand with him behind his back there. According to the pictures, it's very cool. If you order from Darkside Collectibles, you can choose to get their exclusive variant, which I said, and the price on this thing is approximately $1,400 US. So it's not cheap.
No, it's $1,800 US.
Oh yes, it was 1433 British pounds or euros or whatever it was, whatever that little squiggly symbol is for their money.
That was euros.
Okay, euros. Yeah, because pound is a different symbol.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So it's expensive. It's like $2,500 Canadian. You said, right?
Or it was worked out to be $1,800.
$1,800, right? Okay, it was a lot. It was like $2,000 with shipping and
it was $1,800 and something Canadian.
Yes, it was a lot. It looks really cool, and who doesn't want to have a Wrath of Khan Spock statue with Federation flag in their house? I don't know anybody who wouldn't want that.
So you're gonna buy it, Shawn?
Probably not, because that's awful pricey.
Yeah, but you don't have kids in the house all the time anymore.
Well, that's true. That's true. It's very tempting.
And how many extra shifts would it take for you to get that?
A lot.
That's like a week and a half's pay. It's fine.
Well, you know what? That would be fine if I wasn't living with the drain on the budget kid. Brother Robin is costing me a fortune. So that statue seems to be a little bit out of my price range for the time being. But it looks cool, and I think if anybody of our listeners orders it, they should send us a review next year at this time when they get it in the mail. What do you think?
All right.
Okay. Are you going to buy it?
No.
Not so much?
I got the little ones here.
Yeah, you do.
That'll get broken within a week.
Yes. I think you might be right.
Oh, I did put up the Cylon target that I took to the shooting range.
Oh, tell me more.
I had it framed, and it's now in my basement, hanging up with actual bullet holes.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. I'll have to see that later. Okay.
That's the newest collectible added to my collection.
Very nice. And I bet you're quite proud of it.
I am.
And
I got a pretty good grouping for 15 yards with a brand new pistol I'd never tried before.
Oh, that is impressive.
Yeah.
Anything else we should talk about before we end the program?
Yeah.
Okay.
But we're not going to.
Oh, yeah.
Half the show is supposed to be dedicated to a thing that you just kind of just skipped right over.
I totally forgot.
So, next week we'll be talking about why we love BSG. Not BSG.
Babylon 5.
Babylon 5. That'll be like sometime later.
Right. I totally forgot that we were going to have our Why We Love Babylon 5 section this week. That's ample more time for our listeners to write in with their thoughts on Babylon 5 and why they love or hate it. I totally forgot. You remembered though. That's pretty impressive. Excellent.
It was literally, I prepared for it this week.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Totally slipped my mind. Sorry, buddy. Next time. All right. So on that lovely note,
I was thinking to let my hair grow out and get it up at a Centauri flare.
Ooh, that would be very impressive.
So that's a hairstyle me and you can both pull off.
Yes, we could. I think so. Okay. All right. So anyway, thanks for coming by, listeners. Appreciate you being here. Sorry we didn't regale you with our love of Babylon 5, but that'll be next time, if we don't forget.
I didn't forget, Shawn.
You didn't forget, but I did. Totally, completely. But anyway, that's all I got for now. Until next time, keep fit and have fun, and remember, I have the cape. I make the whoosh noises. You have been listening to the Rusted Robot Podcast. To contact the show, email therustedrobot@gmail.com or tweet us at therustedrobot. Join the Facebook page and group and visit the website at therustedrobot.podbean.com. The Rusted Robot Podcast was put together by Shawn and Josh and the Rusty crew. Please remember to check out our other show, the Soulforge Podcast, visit Jump City Comics in the 101 Mall, and leave a glowing review in your chosen podcast app. Thank you, and have a geeky day.
The Rusted Robot Podcast. Think about it.
Mr. Cullen, how did you come up with the original voice for Optimus Prime?
It's a story that I've told many times, and maybe some of you have heard it, but it's a story very dear to me, and it's the truth. It happened. My brother Larry, a captain in the Marine Corps, had returned from Vietnam. He was a decorated Marine, and the Bronze Star with V and a couple of Purple Hearts. And we were sharing an apartment, going through a difficult time in my life, when Larry came down, and it was about 1984, and we were, as I said, living in an apartment together. And he would always take a little interest in where I was going every day, because I was a grunt, as the Marines would say. You know, if you're a ground trooper, you're a grunt. Anyway, Larry's 13 months older, 5 inches taller. And, but we're 13 months apart. We were very, very close. So he said, "Peter, where are you going today?" He said, "Well, Larry, what, you need the car?" He said, No, I just want to know where you're going." I said, "I'm going to audition. I'm going to be, I'm auditioning as a truck." And he said, he did the same thing. And so I said, "But Larry, he's evidently he's a hero truck. He's a hero." And his face got somber, and he said, "Peter, if you're going to be a hero, be a real hero. Don't be a Hollywood hero type with all the BS and all the yelling and screaming and trying to be tough. Be strong enough to be gentle." "Okay, Larry, yeah." So as his voice is ringing in my ears as I'm driving to the audition, and I read the copy, and Larry is just coming out. His voice, the way he talked to me, and it said, you know, "I'm Optimus Prime." No, it was, "My name is Optimus Prime." And the softness in his advisory tone was was significant. And so the words just rolled off my tongue. I'm from the planet Cybertron, and blah, 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 blah. And I kind of finished it and said, okay, thank you very much, Peter. Okay. So, okay. Yeah. So, well, I walked out and getting into the car, and I said, I wish Larry had been here. I think he would have been proud of me, because I think I nailed it. I really think I've nailed the character, because it was just Larry. And 2 weeks later, my agent called me up and said, oh, Peter, remember that Transformers thing in the truck? And he said, yeah. He said, you got the part of Optimus Prime. I said, I do? He says, yeah, and you also have another part called Ironhide? What's this Ironhide? So that was the beginning. That was the launch. Did that answer the question, do you think?
I think it answered the question. Can you do a little Ironhide?
Ah, gee whiz, Prime. Calm down, Ironhide. I just want to kick some butt, Prime. Not now. Not now, Ironhide. Later. Much later.
This has been a broadcast of the ESO Network. Be part of the crew and help support our shows by donating to our ESO Patreon or by shopping through Amazon.com or the TeePublic store, which can all be found at www.esonetwork.com. The ESO Network, your station for all things geek.